Omicron variant symptoms on the rise. Family want answers 5 months after botched operation. And committee to address alcohol-related violence. Good evening and welcome. This is Wednesday's news. I'm Kilawani. The Deputy Controller of the National Control Center says the rising COVID-19 cases are most likely the Omicron variant. Although testing to determine the different variants takes up to a month to return from Australia, clinical evidence from patients presented at hospitals shows symptoms of the new variant detected in Africa last November.
The second in charge of the COVID-19 response in the country spoke of the rise in the COVID-19 cases in the last month. He attributes this to the fourth wave predicted to peak after January.
The length of the surge could be weeks to months. Delta, we had almost 4.5 months. For Omicron now, it's about 2.5 months. So the impact might be shorter, but in PNG, we have to be mindful of the risk because a lot of our people are unvaccinated.
Dr. Esrom says this is highly likely to be the Omicron variant.
Bradley, we are getting a lot of anecdotal reports now. There's a lot of people in the workplaces and are now experiencing a lot of flu-like symptoms. That's what Omicron would do. Omicron will transmit very fast. It will affect a lot of people, but a lot of people will actually recover.
Results from the test, especially from the new variants of the coronavirus, however, take up to a month to return after samples are sent to Australia. Dr. Esrom says medical professionals can still tell if a person has the new variant from the symptoms patients present when going to the hospitals.
We can, as clinicians and public health professionals, through the clinical presentation, we can differentiate between, as I've explained, the symptoms. And when I was explaining the symptoms, you will deduce that, and our viewers will deduce that from the original one virus to Delta to Omicron, the symptoms have actually changed over time. You see, so most of these symptoms are from patients who come in. So once you collaborate these symptoms with international data from other countries, and you come up to deduce that, that could be Omicron. And one of the things that we've seen difference is that Omicron now spreads very fast and easily transmittable. So within days and weeks, you see a large number of cases coming.
The National Control Center is calling on all citizens to get vaccinated and those that are eligible to get the boosters to get their jabs. Already, there is information of a growing number of health workers testing positive for COVID-19, and it's a concern for the overburdened health system. Health authorities fear that if citizens don't comply with the current new normal measures, the current surge may dwell even longer. Bradley Valenaki, National EMTV News.
A large number of Air Niugini flight crews have fallen sick, forcing the delay and cancellation of most flights throughout the country. Air Niugini released a statement late this afternoon apologizing for the inconvenience caused. The statement says a number of flights in recent days which have been disrupted are due to a much higher number of crew than usual falling sick, as well as the current wet weather conditions across the country impacting on the airline's operations. The airline is doing everything it can to manage the situation, but will of course not compromise safe operations. Passengers in Lae, Hagen, Madang and some other ports who were not able to fly out today will be accommodated onto the next available flight. While the airline company regrets the inconvenience caused, it however says the safety of its passengers and its employees is always of paramount importance, and they seek the public's understanding. Some 5 months after the death of 14-year-old Rex Wanjing due to a botched operation at the Port Moresby General Hospital, his family is still seeking answers. Following an inquiry into the cause of death for Rex and 7 others, the family is yet to see the report. Rex was admitted for eye surgery in August last year, but died after he was given an anesthetic injection. While the Health Department is tight-lipped on the issue, Prime Minister James Marpe was asked about the report. 13th of August 2021 was when 14-year-old Rex Wanjing died after going through a very basic growth or cyst removal surgery at the Port Moresby General Hospital Surgical Theatre. It's been 6 months and the parents of young Rex are still left in the dark as to what happened to their son.
All we want is to seek justice for him, that's all. Why is the report taking so long to be released? And it's very painful. I had a healthy boy walking in and coming out. Still cannot accept it.
By the 11th of January this year, the family was advised by Port Moresby General Hospital that the investigation at the hospital concluded and findings were passed to Secretary for Health Dr. Osborne Liko.
Right now, according to the Health Minister, Jalta Wong, he said that, his text message to Raila, he said that everything was given to the government on the 18th of January. So it's not under his jurisdiction anymore. They'll be just waiting for the government to give the decision. That's the last we have.
EMTV contacted Minister for Health Jalta Wong, who responded, advising EMTV to contact the department secretary, Dr. Osborne Liko. The minister said the report has been done and that it is currently with the Attorney General for screening to allow the department to put out a statement. EMTV reached out to Dr. Liko, Secretary for Health, for a response but to no avail. While the Minister and the Secretary for Health seem to be passing the buck, Prime Minister James Marpe in an interview told the media that the report has been concluded and in the findings of the report pointed out that the system has defaulted, meaning the fault lies with the Department of Health. And the Prime Minister added his government has taken responsibility.
Yeah, I think the report is going towards completion. We've been our health department and the ministry has accepted the report as it is. And there was a default or fault in the process, so we've taken responsibility. And contact has been made with the family, and apologies has been made. But we're looking at legally as to how we could ensure that the family is compensated properly if all points to a default in the process.
PM Marpe stated in the interview it was the administered anesthesia that killed 14-year-old Rex Wanjing.
I think this specific anesthesia was procured almost 4 or 5 years ago. It was in the system, and then it was identified where the fault was. So we've told the family that we've identified where the fault is. We're not here to defend anyone. If the system has defaulted, that caused young life to be lost, then the due process in as far as compensating for the loss of life will take its course.
While money can never compensate for the loss of a life, and the Prime Minister of the country admitting on behalf of the Health Department, the family is yet to cite the findings of the report and they only want a closure in this tragic ordeal.
It's been very frustrating for us to be dragged along. We're like in total darkness. Ministers are not coming, especially the health minister is not coming up with answers to us. Why they're holding on to the report so long? We just want the report to be released to seek justice for our son.
A special parliamentary committee set up to look at alcohol-related violence has listed in its terms of reference the production and sale of cheap liquor. The committee recently established plans to amend legislations to address the high abuse of alcohol nationwide. Thekla Jogo reports.
What we are trying to look at now to address this issue. Ayatambua, the member for Goroka, has been appointed as chairman of the Special Parliamentary Committee tasked to address the high alcohol abuse at the national level. The 3 terms of references include the production, sale and legislative side of regulating laws to address the manufacturing and selling of cheap liquor.
Tok pisino sa toka lig beer, big plus park. That's within that area there. So this committee is very concerned about that. That is one of the areas that we will look in to make amendments so that we can regulate that area. Lastly, we'll be looking at causes or the violence that has contributed, that alcohol has contributed to this country. A lot of departments, agencies, NGOs have done research to do with alcohol-related violence. But this committee will also address them, talk to them, get the views also, and we will do a report, hopefully, before this parliament ends.
Since independence, there are no strict laws to govern the manufacturing and sale of liquor. The Food Sanitation Act of 1991 allows liquor to be manufactured in the country. However, the manufacturer must meet requirements of at least 5 different government bodies before it is certified to produce alcohol. But in order to obtain a license to sell liquor, it is another process, and it is the Provincial Liquor Licensing Committee that facilitates this. Now, with the parliamentary committee set up, it is the desire of the government to find a win-win situation for all parties involved. This includes the manufacturer, the reseller, consumers, and the government.
It mandates the establishment of commissioners, legal licensing commissioners, and the inspectors. We'd like to know whether these commissioners are existing and under what kind of structure, if they are doing their work or not. I think the next part of our inquiry will be making sure that we come back to see the structure that they have these commissioners attached to, and then if they're actually doing their jobs in various sectors of our communities. So I believe we have a law in place, but it's to do with the enforcement that is really lacking at the moment, and we'd like to come back to find out what is really happening. And that's the reason why we are not seeing the effects of alcohol control in our country.
With high alcohol-related violence a daily occurrence reported to police, the NCD Liquor Licensing Committee has recommended temporary measures to minimize the abuse.
It's an industry, they give manufacturing industry. NARI, they check. Health authority also. So police, ICCC, control the price. We want to bring all the stakeholders together so that there is a win-win situation. Alcohol is here to stay, yeah? But we must control where it starts, and this manufacturing. So NCDC will start to issue a temporary cease operation to notice to respective manufacturers and correct their manufacturing standards and regulatory compliance. That's one of the recommendations that NCDC will come up with.
Meanwhile, the Vitis Industries, a food and beverage manufacturer, said the company has been following set procedures.
So I can assure you that we have standard operating procedures, quality management systems, GMP, HACCP, and everything is followed to the T. So much so that any new product that is developed by me and my quality control team, we first, once we have the approval from the managing directors, etc., we send our samples to NATSL in Ley. It's an accredited laboratory. Once we get the alcohol tests back from them, I contact Mr. Dennis Cherry from ICCC. He checks our packaging, he does the approvals, and the approvals are sent to our management directors. So we are definitely we do our things and we follow procedures. Vitis Industries has been unfairly targeted, and when I say that, I believe there's a lot of home brewing activities. I believe also that shop owners should perhaps be held accountable for selling alcoholic products to underage people.
Thekla Jogo, National EMTV News.
Over 50,000 people in the country sought family planning and sexual reproductive health care last year. That's according to statistics from Maristopes PNG. Maristopes PNG is a non-government organization that specializes in providing family planning services in 13 provinces in the country. To create more awareness on family planning, the NGO has organized a 4-day workshop with media organizations in Leh.
These are Leh-based journalists and reporters from the media organizations, representatives from faith-based organizations, and few health officers. They were part of a 4-day workshop organized by Maristopes PNG that began yesterday in Leh with the aim to inform and educate the media and other stakeholders on the operations of MSPNG, including family planning.
They will help us to market what we are doing and to form that basis on the awareness between us and the general public, especially targeting the 15 to 19 years old or the adolescents and the youths. So that is the basic thing that we would like to achieve at the end of this week in Leh, so that both people in Leh as well as Papua New Guinea should know the importance of family planning and sexual reproductive health services that Maristopes is providing in PNG.
Maristopes PNG was established in the country in 2006. It's funded by the Australian government through the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade. MSPNG works with the PNG government and other stakeholders to ensure that all clients access affordable services in both the rural and urban areas. Maristopes PNG operates in 13 provinces, including Morobe.
Family planning is specifically to space children, and then if you have enough children, we can stop bearing children. So that is the basic importance why we ask our youths and adolescents to come in and get family planning services when needed, but not on daily basis. So we do like to encourage, especially our females, if you are attending primary schools or secondary schools or even tertiary institutions, please, if you need any information or importance on family planning, you can visit our offices in the centers that we provide the services, including Port Moresby, Leh, and the other areas in PNG.
Maristopes provides family planning services through 4 channels, including outreach programs and from Maristopes centers. According to Maristopes PNG Monitoring and Evaluation Manager Adolf Kott, more awareness is needed in order to inform the general public on family planning.
There are 5 or 6 provinces we are not working in. There are a couple of reasons. One is due to donor funding. We would only reach areas where we can. And the other is the existing health system that they have. They can cater for what Maristopes is providing. They can do so. That's why we allow them to take on the services that they themselves can provide.
Julie Badui, OA, National EMTV News, Leh.
Today marks 10 years after MV Rabaul Queen capsized off the coast of Morobe. It came to be the worst sea disaster in PNG's maritime history, with over 300 passengers unaccounted for. A survivor says each survivor has his or her own story during the mishap. Ezekiel Sauber said while boarding the ship, he noticed that the vessel was overloaded. However, he was on his way to join his daughter in Madang. Sauber said he and other survivors swam for 8 hours before they were rescued.
4 to 5 o'clock in the morning, one black giant wave even come up and been swinging. It's a wave he come also left hand side long, right hand side to ship. We were standing on the left hand part of the ship, and he come and he killed him ship now. Ship go down I was standing there at the left-hand side of the deck, or the beach deck here. My hand can touch the water, touch the sea, time I clean it. And then, time I touch him, the sea, come go back and, sit down, go to the position, that's like killer wave come. And we come and we capture him this like boat, also one play little canoe, and we capture him in split of a second. Now all man inside long ship, no line, only no ready. Only thing was him, only when experiencing this like through the night he come. Now only thing was him, it's normal. If the ship is into it, then we should have some type of compensation for us, the survivors. And it's taking too long now, and the people, the silent majority, they're lying low, no lisiran basulista. Now this day, planting long only celebrating the anniversary blow quiet, one time or one family blow, remember him or loved ones blow, so I think spins so solora. Now me blow some me play start life here. Me play still thinking long, esla. But me play happy, lo government blow me play. We know that our government is very vibrant. Na only can look Gonzalo's la issue.
You're watching National EMTV News. More stories after the break. Welcome back to the news. New Ireland Province has commemorated the opening of its legal year. A ceremony was held yesterday in Kavieng Town, staged by members of the discipline force, including Residential Judge Justice John Yagi. Justice Yagi echoed the message of discipline, loyalty and integrity to members of the law and justice sector.
The legal year opening began with a parade and guard of honor at the Kavieng Courthouse. Members of the police force and CS officers were inspected by Residential Judge Justice John Yagi. Addressing members of the law and justice sector, Justice Yagi spoke of the need to uphold discipline, loyalty and integrity in the line of duty.
Discipline, loyalty and integrity, which I strongly believe resonates with but is sadly missing in the discharge of your duty as public servants for servants of the people.
Justice Yagi added that each member of the law and justice sector is trained as a professional. He reminded officers to uphold law and conduct their duty.
If you do not obey commands and orders, you are liable for a disciplinary breach. So discipline is the ability to have self-control over your own words and actions. Good discipline promotes good human behavior and respect among work colleagues and, most importantly, the public at large, the people of public opinion.
The legal year opening was followed by a march in town to the Kavieng United Church for a dedication service. The event was attended by senior magistrates, public solicitors, juvenile officers, police and the correctional service.
That people are depending on you. That people are asking you, Holy Ghost, by the program we plan throughout this media order.
Jack LaPava Jr., National EMTV News.
All teachers serving in Western Province have been urged to attend to students' learning effective as of this week. This was an advice directed by the Provincial Education Advisor, Charlie Buya. It has been noticed in recent years in that a few teachers with no genuine reasons leave their classes unattended while attending to personal matters. He says this is an ongoing issue and that school inspectors in the province will be tasked to monitor movements of teachers. He called on school principals, board members and the head teachers of respective educational institutions within the province to adhere.
And we need to strengthen school leadership, those who are running the institutions, to ensure that teacher absenteeism is managed. But the message to them was very clear. Prolonged absenteeism from classes affects student learning. And so when we're looking at low performance of students, absenteeism is one of those main areas that we should be blaming. Yes, so we are addressing that.
The people of remote Delena in the Kairikuhiri district of Central Province are in dire need of a better road access. The only road into the area has deteriorated over the years, and no effort has been made to upgrade this vital link. Ward member Michael Pai says funds have been allocated to have this road fixed. However, nothing has been done so far.
This is the only road link to Delena, one of the remote villages in the Kairikuhiri district. The people of Delena and neighboring villages use this road to access markets and basic government services in Port Moresby. However, the road has deteriorated and not much has been done to improve this vital link.
What is otherwise a 2-hour trip or 1.5-hour trip, today is a 4-hour trip from Akevairu to your village. What a shame. Why should we have to put ourselves through this challenge? Every day, the possibility of giving birth on the road and risking our young one.
That's why it's a struggle for everybody. Councillors too, government don't give us money, and it's very hard for us to get the little people to get our own roads done. There's no funds in the LGs.
According to the local ward member, there are PMV trucks serving the people of Delena and neighboring villages. However, the bad road condition is affecting PMV owners and businesses. The people have to walk long distances before getting on a PMV to Port Moresby, or they have to take alternative routes, which is a costly exercise.
So what we are doing currently now, we normally get dinghies here. It costs around 20 kina to 30 kina, depending on the distance from its villages. So from here we travel down to Bioto, that's inland, Kairiku inland. From there then another 25 kina again, Moresby.
The ward member says the people have been struggling for many years. He further adding that funding has been made available. However, they are not sure when the road will be fixed, and they are questioning where has the money gone to.
Nothing has happened. What we had was they committed 4.7 million. So from that, nothing has been done, nothing. So we don't know if that 4.7 million is still there or we don't know.
Rayon Lakingu National, EMTV News.
Prime Minister James Marape, in his recent visit to Mendi town, has urged the provincial and local level government to bring the town to its glory days. A 2 million kina was made available to renovate and repaint the famous Agiru Centre, a 7-story provincial government building. Meanwhile, Governor William Powie is asking the national government to help build a new courthouse and support the law and justice system in the province.
Prime Minister James Marape said the 2 million kina is for cleaning up Agiru Centre so that the provincial government and its administration can work there instead of running the business of the province in Port Moresby or hotels. Marape gave assurance that the province is not forgotten in terms of projects and services. Now that the 4.27% of PNG LNG Croton equity is given back to Hela and Southern Highlands provinces, they're expecting to see more developments in the coming years.
Like Lorani province, you got more resources than plenty of provinces now. The fact that Tupla Governor Agri finished, a minimum some time cash flow. In fact, first money Lodisla, Southern provincial government kisim 19 million kina come in Salakan Blokono last December. So this money, but big money come in Salon province. Every budget blow you Southern Highlands by a big block at a time.
5 million kina was proposed to set up the provincial and local level government businesses through the seat of government, revive the airport and town services, and provide the needed leadership.
Something working, but big money come. That's all. Man, Mary, Sinan good, leader no work good, public service no work good, but we still maintaining culture. Long before where check run come, Man Mary come boom, check run finish. No get Man Mary. Now you may line stop bless you stop at same time stop.
Governor William Powie admitted that the breakdown of law and order in the province was due to the absence of a courthouse and a judge. The only courthouse was burnt to ashes following election-related violence during the 2017 national general elections. Powie said his priority is to restore the justice system that will help to move the province forward.
This province needing judge. Wanda District Magistrate Lonipa Nakagua, Yelebu, Wanda Mendi M staff. I will not move this province without solid foundation of law and order and rule of law.
Marape supported the idea to inject funding of 5 million kina to complete the Mendi courthouse. A new mobile barracks will also be built in Mendi. The Prime Minister urged everyone to restore the presence of law and justice in the province. Vasanatha Yama, National EMTV News, Mount Hagen.
And now looking at the NASFund market report, the kina closed unchanged at $0.2850 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your kina is buying $0.2775, $0.3855 Australian dollars, $0.4149 New Zealand dollars, and 31.24 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading higher, coffee and cocoa closed higher, copper closed unchanged, crude oil is trading higher, palm oil closed unchanged, and copper closed higher. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the ASX 200 is trading higher, and the All Ordinaries is trading higher. This is National EMTV News. More stories when we come back. Stay with us. Welcome back. BSP Financial Group Limited is concerned that closure of banking services in certain parts of the country resulting from robbery or theft affects the local communities concerned. Commenting on the Daulo sub-branch robbery recently, BSP CEO Robin Fleming said they would want to restore banking services at the earliest, but are calling on local authorities and communities there to ensure security of the sub-branch.
BSP's Daulo sub-branch in the Eastern Highlands province was robbed on Saturday, 22nd January 2022. It was the third incident in the sub-branch's 12 years of operations, with the last one being less than 6 months ago. In a statement released by BSP management shortly after the robbery incident, criminals broke into the BSP sub-branch and stole an estimated 12,000 kina in cash, along with banking devices.
In respect of any other branches or any other banks in Daulo, there's probably the only bank. We are the only bank, and that's very much the case with the rest of our 36, 37 other sub-branches all around the country. And the impact isn't on BSP because many of those sub-branches make very little profit, if at all. And that's where it becomes far more disappointing, because we provide those services for the people in rural communities to enable them to undertake some basic banking facilities and banking services without having to travel all the way to the main town, which in this case is going to be in Goroka.
CEO Fleming says there have been similar incidents in recent times with other BSP sub-branches in the country, such as in Yalibu Southern Highlands Province and Kerama in Gulf Province, resulting in banking services closed in those areas.
That's part of the rationale, is that the community respects and understands that these sub-branches are for their benefit.
BSP is the only bank operating in the Daulo electorate, serving a population of nearly 50,000 people living in Lower and Upper Asaro and Watabung.
Doesn't affect BSP, it really does affect the local community, and that's what we're trying to get across to everyone in the community.
As I've said, I want to apologize on the people of the population of Daulo or what actually happened. Actually, I feel that it's not really good, and I'm appealing to the people. It must be last and final. That doesn't never happen. If you are doing this, please, you need to quit and become a good citizen of this country, and also be a good, good citizen of this country, and make sure you quit everything. This is not good enough, as you are giving a problem to other citizens.
Daulo MP Pogyo Gate, in speaking to EMTV News yesterday, said he is very unhappy over the incident, saying they will work closely with the police to have those involved arrested and charged. He also appealed to communities in Daulo electorate to cooperate and support the police and local authorities to deal with the matter and avoid such incidents in the future.
But I'm appealing also to the people of Daulo that this type of service is the bank is providing to you to the close of to the door close of the nearest place where you can make a banking service that we all need to look after.
The BSP Daulo sub-branch is now closed until those involved in the robbery incident are apprehended and charged. Dennis Orere, National EMTV News.
Alice Silok from Morbe Province is 30,000 kina richer after winning the Twisty Snack and Win promotion. The promotion attracted over 121,000 entries nationwide, which Alice Silok was the lucky winner.
The participants had to buy any pack of Twisties, locate the code behind the pack, and enter it on the promotion website. Alice Silok said she was over the moon and back when she received the call that she had won the 30,000 kina prize money.
There were actually two competitions going on. One was by the Paradise Foods, but they had like 12 packets to enter to win. But this one was just one packet. We had to enter the barcode.
The Twisty Snack and Win promotion ran from 1st of November 2021 and ended on the 31st of January. Silok said her kids introduced her to the competition. She added she will use the money for their school fees.
Actually, it's like the kids have been gone, they're the ones been doing this, so we actually thought about the education expenses, the educational expenses. Yeah, because during this time, all the parents are looking for that money to contribute into their children's education.
Twisty's Sales and Marketing General Manager Andrew Dobney congratulated Silok for winning and added more promotions are on the way in 2022.
Another exciting promotion from Goodman Fielder, where we're the leading food manufacturer in the country, and we're keen to bring more exciting promotions across all our product ranges. Twisties being one of our favourites. It's such an icon in this country, and we're going to see bigger and better things going forward this year. So we're looking for an exciting year, and well done to Miss Alice. She was the lucky winner and deserved person to be pulled out of the 100,000 plus winners. So what a great prize, and appreciate you coming along to receive the cheque. But exciting from Twisties, one of our favourite brands, and we're looking forward to an exciting Twisties promotion in the future. But thank you.
Mary Ronnie, National EMTV News.
This is Wednesday's news. Trukai Sports is next. Stay tuned for the details.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. The government of PNG, through its logistics business arm, Post PNG, had the honour of providing carriage logistics for the Queen's Baton. Yesterday, the Queen's Baton left PNG for Solomon Islands to continue the relay before the start of the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham in July this year.
After 3 days in the country, the Queen's Baton departed PNG shores yesterday, thanks to the logistical services provided by Post PNG, ensuring that the baton would be safely and securely delivered to its next destination. The Queen's Baton relay is held prior to the beginning of every Commonwealth Games. The baton will travel to all 72 Commonwealth nations. Within it, it carries a message from Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, which will be read out at the opening ceremony of the Birmingham Commonwealth Games on the 28th of July.
Only last week we were invited by the designated operator of United Kingdom's postal operation, which is known as Royal Mail. And we were asked if we could participate in the logistics handling of the Commonwealth Games baton. And so we were approached and we were invited, and Post PNG is proud and honored to be part of this important and historic occasion as the baton passes through Papua New Guinea onto its next destination. In our normal day-to-day operation, we handle a lot of high-value goods, high-value cargo, and for the baton, it has been the same, and we will accord it the same level of security, the same level of handling.
Huxley Lovai, Trukai Sports.
More stories to come in Trukai Sports. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome back to Trukai Sports. The Integrated Mixed Martial Arts Gym is teaching self-defense. Women and children are being trained to equip themselves with techniques to defend themselves in hostile situations. Mixed martial arts is a combination from various combat sports, including boxing, kickboxing, and martial arts from around the world.
Women interested in mixed martial arts are also training in self-defense, an art that is quite sought after. Isabel Druma is a senior instructor at the Integrated Mixed Martial Arts Gym and helps women learn self-defense techniques.
So the amount of students that we had just before COVID hit was about 200 on a daily basis. This was including women and children. And we facilitated training on self-defense for about 40 women every single day. This is from exactly Monday to Friday.
Lina Eaki is a participant in the mixed martial arts and self-defense classes.
My children, all my 4 children, I have 4 children, all of them started taking part in the MMA sport. One of the benefits that we got out of it was that keeping them off the street. And I don't regret bringing them here due to the reason that my kids are really disciplined.
Port Moresby has hotspot areas where petty crimes such as bag snatching and also the occasional verbal harassment of women make them feel vulnerable. For Eaki, knowing self-defense has given her self-confidence.
Self-confidence to also help me with, because I have only one daughter, I just felt that, as a single parent, I needed to protect her if she and I were on the road ourselves. And I gained all that confidence during the time that I was taking the training. So that was one thing that I gained from the experience with the MMA team.
She also added that she feels that she is more alert when with her daughter because of her training.
The thing is, it gives you that alertness, so when you're on the street, you're alert. When you can sense when something is going to be happening, something bad may be happening, and you're prepared for it. So the training has really helped in that.
Druma added that violence in general against women and children is a growing problem in the country, and the Integrated MMA Gym is aiming to equip those vulnerable with some basic skills to defend themselves.
This is just to help basically women fight off and defend themselves against violence. And I'm pretty sure you know and I know that violence is a huge issue in PNG.
Fidelis Sukina, Trukai Sports.
And that story ends Trukai Sports. The weather forecast after the break.
Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoniPlus, with you always.
Weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow. Southern region, Port Moresby, mostly cloudy with some rain showers. Cloudy with some showers for Daru, Kerema, Alotau and Popondetta.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoniPlus, with you always.
And that's the news, sports and weather for today, Wednesday, 2nd of February 2022. On behalf of the news team, have a safe evening. Be safe. Bye for now.